welcome to another episode of Coming Up Milhouse. Today is a special time for us to talk about one of my favorite episodes, and it just happens to coincide with today's date is February 14th. So I choose you to watch us talk about episode number 15 in season 4 called I Love Lisa.
Very good, yes. This is a very special episode on a special day. And basically what happens is Ralph, our good friend Ralph, he doesn't get a lot of Valentines, and Lisa sees this and she decides that she's going to give Ralph, a card, make him feel a little bit better. But Ralph takes that a little too far. He thinks that means that Lisa has feelings for him.
Yep.
And Lisa has to let him down, but she lets him down a little hard and hurts Ralph's feelings a little bit, but they will reconcile as the episode progresses. And that's the story there. So why don't we kick it off with our lines? What's your first line?
So my first line, I'm going to go with, whether you want to win a girl or crack a nut, you need to keep persistent and never lose your cool. And that was Chief Wiggum, who lost his cool as he was cracking a nut, and actually used his firearm to try and crack a nut because the shoe was not working appropriately to crack a nut. So.
Right, and he had to shoot it to get it up.
Yes, so that was his advice to Ralph. Ralph wanted to know what it took to win a girl. Mm-hmm. What about your first line?
So my first line is from Bart, and he says, "It's not fair. I'm 10 times the Krusty fan you are. I even have the Krusty brand home pregnancy test." So Ralph scores some tickets to this big Krusty show that Bart really wants to go to. But Ralph, of course, is going to take Lisa. And Bart was feeling pretty jealous about that. He was
pretty jaded, yep. It's true.
And to show his fandom for Krusty, home pregnancy test. Yep. What about
he
two?
Has them. Can you believe Flanders threw out a perfectly good toothbrush? Homer found Flanders' toothbrush in the trash and then reused it? Ew.
Not good.
But I had to pick that one. Out of all the great lines out of this episode, I picked that one.
That was a good one. Mm-hmm. I like it.
What about your second one?
Alright, so my second one is from Willie, and he says, "I didn't cry when my own father was hung for stealing a pig, but I'll cry now."
I knew you were going to go with that line for some reason. I don't know.
So, there is also a bit about President's Day because it comes on the heels of Valentine's Day, and Ralph puts on this amazing performance as George Washington, and it moved everyone to tears, even Willie, and that was his line. Very good. All right, takes us into scenes. What's your favorite scene?
I'm going to go with actually the President's Day play. The very opening scene is a song about mediocre presidents, and it just really cracked me up.
Yeah, they're like, Rutherford B. Hayes, and, and they're singing, and
Tyler,
and Harrison, I died in 30 days, That was pretty clever.
It was really clever.
They do good songs when they do them in the show, I think.
The musicals.
Yeah, exactly.
What's your favorite scene?
Alright, so my favorite scene is the beef hearts. So Bart's like, "Hey, we got something very special for lunch today for Valentine's Day." And it cuts to the back of the school, and there's lunch lady Doris, and this guy comes in, he's like, "Hey, where do you want your beef hearts?" He's got a truckload of beef hearts. And lunch lady Doris is like, "Just put them on the floor." And he's like, "It's not very clean." And she's like, "Just do your job, heart boy." And he dumps a truckload of beef hearts onto the floor in the back of the kitchen of the school.
Oh my goodness.
It's so funny. It's silly.
It is.
Beef hearts. I mean, come on.
I know, and then Bart furthers that, and they're eating their beef hearts, except for Bart tucked his down his shirt, and he does a gag where the heart explodes out of his chest and makes everybody scream, because he's always the prankster.
Yeah, he's like, Nice. Nice one.
Beef hearts. What about your winner?
My winner is Bart because I liked his portrayal of John Wilkes Booth in the play. So, they go out there and he's supposed to be John Wilkes Booth, and you expect him to come out and look old-timey, but instead he looks like the Terminator, and he's got a repeating cap gun with with the bulbs in it, and he's like, all right, Mr. President, and he does the whole Terminator thing.
Hasta la vista.
Hasta la vista.
AB.
Yeah, and then he goes after one of the other presidents from the song, and I just thought, you know what, Bart, you gave it your own twist.
You're gonna give him a win.
You get the win for this one. What about you? Who's your winner?
The listeners of KBBL. Because we start the episode with the Monster Mash for Valentine's Day, and then we end the episode with the Monster Mash for President's Day. So if you were listening to KBBL on those 2 days, you benefit from listening to one of my favorite songs, the Monster Mash.
Mm-hmm. Very good. I love the Monster Mash gag. It was a great way to start the episode and end the episode. Just classic. Very good. How about losers?
My loser is Robert Frost. And those of you who haven't seen this episode are wondering, what? What's happening? So the Krusty 29th anniversary show is all a clip show, and he had Robert Frost as a guest, and he has a line of, "What do you mean, Frosty? You like some snow, man?" and pulls a rope, and this pile of snow dumps on Robert Frost's head. So
yeah,
he's my loser of the
and he's
episode.
just sitting there like, yes, well,
I told you not to do this bit.
Yeah, he's very stoic about it, but
very academic.
Yeah, he is, but unfortunately he did get a snow blizzard on his head from Krusty.
And it was shown many
Many years
later. Not a clip show.
Awesome. So, my loser is The Simpsons roof. So there's this part where Ralph comes around, he decides that he thinks Lisa loves him and he loves her, and he's coming to Lisa's house to woo her, and Lisa's like, "Oh, it's Ralph, don't let him know I'm here." So Homer's like, "What do you want?" And Ralph's like, "I'll do anything for Lisa." And Homer's like, "Really? Okay." And it cuts to, there's Ralph on the Simpsons roof with a big bucket of hot tar and, like a brush, and he's brushing on hot tar. It's like, "Mr. Simpson, the fumes are making me sick." And Homer's like, "Yeah, they'll do that." And I'm like, you don't hot tar a roof over your shingled roof for your house. That's a different type of roof.
Right.
It's going to ruin the shingles. So I decided that the roof of the Simpsons house is not going to come out good from now on. Yeah, so there we go. That is my loser. And that is our episode.
It's our special episode. We did jump ahead a little bit because when else is a Valentine's Day going to fall on the day that we record an episode of Coming Up Milhouse. So, and the fact that this episode is in the current season that we're working on, season 4, we had to jump ahead a little. So that was episode 15. We will jump back next week to episode 4, and until the next time,
Jiminy Jillikers!
See the recording button. Here's your ribbon. I'm going to pet you. You stay right there?
There you go.
No, he's not going to stay.
He's not.
Hi! Bye!
Bye.
Vincent, get up here.
Get up here.